most people treat LinkedIn like a resume.
Mhm.
Nah, it's a landing page.
Okay.
Right? It's a go high level, beautiful landing page. So if you treat it that way, it makes sense why certain people do really well on LinkedIn and others not so much, right?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the High Level Spotlight Sessions, where we showcase awesome marketers doing awesome marketing. Today, I'm pumped to be joined by Kevin Miller. He's the founder and CEO of All Approach, which is a LinkedIn marketing agency who works with or helps out thousands of other agencies when it comes to getting better at LinkedIn. Kevin, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks. What up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I
Good.
think this is a timely conversation because
Yes.
all I keep hearing is about how well things perform on LinkedIn these days.
I think it's funny because honestly, I was sleeping on LinkedIn for a while. Like I was in that same boat for a good probably 3-4 years. And then I really started picking it up around 2019. And I noticed that most people treat LinkedIn like a resume.
Mhm.
Nah, it's a landing page.
Okay.
Right? It's a go high level, beautiful landing page. So if you treat it that way, it makes sense why certain people do really well on LinkedIn and others not so much, right?
Well, we're gonna talk about doing outreach and stuff on LinkedIn, but I think it's fascinating that I've seen more and more, even just last week. Somebody, people that I follow, I spend most of my social media time on Twitter.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
people, who have big followings on Twitter that I follow recently have been I'm gonna go test the waters in LinkedIn. And then they come back and they're like, I think I've been wasting my
The
time here
pool
on
is
Twitter.
wet.
Like everything I put on LinkedIn gets so much organic reach, so many comments, this and that. And so it's fascinating to me because my LinkedIn is a mess. When I log in, it's just like a mess, and I try to
Appreciate the honesty.
get out of there as quickly as I can. But I can't deny the fact that I'm seeing people saying that they're having fantastic results. So,
Mhm.
oh, I think your camera bumped you and out of
Oh,
focus. Uh,
there we go.
let's
Let's
get
fix
you
that.
back in. There we
Excellent.
go.
Perfect.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, why do you think that is? Like everything I see is like shocking. Like people are like, this isn't just working, it's insanely, working insanely well.
Right. It's kind of like, remember when we were kids and we would go to the ice cream stand and we thought that we knew everything. We thought that the daiquiri ice cream was the one. We only wanted what we couldn't have. Right. And so many people feel like LinkedIn is, oh, it's this dinosaur. I don't know what to do with it. Right. And
Right.
so when they see other people slowly dip in, right, you dip their toes in and like, okay, there's something here. It's kind of like a gold mine. Everybody wants it now. And so the people that I see that I've actually know who you're talking about, a lot of those growth, growth hackers, right, on Twitter, money Twitter, a lot of those people. What I think is happening is they're actually, a lot of them are duplicating the virality and the level of brand they have already built on Twitter, and then taking that and putting it on LinkedIn. So there's a huge difference, right? I want to caution people. There's a huge difference between already having a massive following on Twitter or TikTok and then just simply adding additional following, right, to LinkedIn. It's not the same thing. So don't think that, you're going to have the same results as so-and-so on Twitter with 50,000 followers. It's not like that. Still got to be realistic. So I would say if you're a new agency owner, whether you're an insurance agency, marketing agency, the first step is to really just be honest with yourself and say, do I want to be in the top 1% of LinkedIn profiles? Am I going to commit to that? Or do I just kind of want to be there? You know how most of us kind of just want to be there on that one profile we don't really like?
Sure.
So we know, like for me, that's Pinterest. I don't use Pinterest.
Sure.
So I'm not dedicated to being a top performer on Pinterest. LinkedIn is one of those things, it's a funnel. You got to be all the way in for it to really work like that. So I would recommend
What are, when it comes, I mean, I don't even think these are things that people think about. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what are the nuances of a good LinkedIn landing page that people should kind of write down and go check after they finish watching this?
Yeah, this is I actually did like 20 videos on this last week. So the first section is, remember that very top section, that first component. The first thing you want to think about is when you, let's say you're going to a landing page and you're just looking for some Nike shoes, looking for a white pair of shoes. It would be really weird if that page said founder at white pair of shoes. That's what everyone's LinkedIn profile is saying right now. Founder at so-and-so agency. And they have to keep scrolling to figure out what you actually offer. Right? You say something like, I'll book 100 appointments for you. What does that even mean? And for who? What audience? Is it for financial advisors? Is it for, right? So it's not enough to take that generic verbiage that may work on certain things and then just copy paste that onto your landing page, LinkedIn, right? It's not going to work like that.
Well, so let me ask you a question that I'm a little confused about. So high level, right? We're a business. We have a business page.
Right.
Me as a person, I have my profile page.
Yep.
Can people have pages too? Or are we talking about optimizing your personal page? Or no, we're talking about optimizing your business's page.
We're talking about optimizing your personal page.
Okay.
And the company page is actually associated, like you can't just make a company page. It needs to be associated with somebody as the owner of the page.
Okay.
Otherwise, LinkedIn will actually make a mock page, right? And then someone, kind of like Google, right? There's like a mock thing they do. And then someone has to claim the knowledge panel, right? It's the same concept. So it's really important that you make the page if you're going to make a company page. And if you just Google create LinkedIn company page, while you're logged into your personal account, you'll be able to do that.
So you're saying, okay, tip number one, if I'm hearing this correctly, is my personal page, instead of saying, you know, Chase Buckner, founder of Chase's marketing agency, should say, I help dentists, blah, 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 blah.
With SEO, exactly. And instead of saying, I help dentists book appointments, because you're not actually articulating the problem you're solving. That's the most important part. Just like a landing page for shoes, you need to articulate, well, okay, these are runner shoes for a specific problem for people with this type of condition. Right? That's the most important component.
Totally. And we talked about this a lot. And one of my favorite examples that we sort of fleshed out was like, I help owners of dental practices make sure they're on the golf course 3 times a week, you know, stuff like that, where it's like, oh, all right, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to spend less time in the office, you know?
Right.
So cool.
And then you would take that and you go spending on the golf course using automation.
Okay, there you go.
Yep, that's how you do it.
Cool. Okay. That sounds like a good tip number one. So what's number two?
Number two, the next section is, most people don't turn on what's called creator mode.
Okay.
There's this little setting right there at the top, and it kind of acts as if, you know how like when you have certain content, you're maybe writing something in a Go High Level website and you want certain keywords in your SEO tags. So it kind of mimics that. At the very top, if you'll notice, people with creator mode, it'll say hashtag and then whatever topics they're passionate about. So if you're passionate about blog writing or cars, that'll make it easier for your organic content to get discovered. So most people never turn that feature on because they don't know how.
I see it right here. Creator mode. It says resources, private to you. Creator mode is off. And then there's my network.
Exactly, brother.
Very interesting. So I come in here. I might as well share my screen so people can see what I'm talking about.
Might as well, right? Let's do it.
Okay, so here's my page. I'm coming down here and I see creator mode off.
There it is.
So grow your audience with creator mode. Follow will be the primary action on your profile. Okay, so that makes it easier for people to follow you.
Exactly.
Get access to creator tools. Your feature content post will show in a new posts tab. show topics that your posts are about with a custom link to your bio. Cool. All right, so
Yep. So you're going to hit
topics.
add topics, then you pick, funnels or growth marketing, things that you want people to discover about you.
Generation.
Mhm.
Oh, how do we add more? Return? Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
There you go.
So like digital marketing,
Mhm. Exactly.
marketing. Okay. And then creator tools, LinkedIn Live. Oh, so you can go live on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
newsletters. Oh, interesting. All
And then
right.
yep, turn on. And then there's one more thing most people never do.
Okay.
So you could hit skip on this.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to scroll all the way up to the top.
Okay.
You're going to hit that pencil right there next to high level.
Right here.
Scroll all the way down. There's your link right there. So it's like a funnel now. So now you can feature whatever link you want and then also put a call to action right below it. It's going to let you put your own text right there. There you go. Yep. And you got 30 characters. So you
Oh,
gotta
son of
be
a.
savvy. Exactly. This is always fun.
Boom. All right. So I just added a call to action and a link to my page, and now it goes, oh, right there. Wow.
Right? Boom. So when you're making content, link in bio,
Wow.
right? There you
So
go.
that's really huge for, especially for high level affiliates, right? If I'm
Yes.
cranking out really beneficial, useful tips and tricks about what I'm doing with high level, to be able to put my affiliate link right there, that seems like I would cookie a lot of people.
Yeah. And especially I think if you put go high level as one of the hashtags, I think y'all are actually at a level where that would actually matter.
Okay.
So that might actually work for y'all too.
So let's take me back here. And now
Yeah.
how do I go back to my creator mode?
You're gonna
Thing?
scroll down a little bit. Right there, creator mode. And then we can add 5, I believe is the maximum. Yeah, there you guys are right there.
Is that us or are we?
I think that go high level is you too. Yeah. There you go.
That's probably us. I mean,
Yeah.
high level could be who knows what.
It's probably something weird.
Wow. All right. So that's cool. All right. So
Yeah,
now
you just did have, small part of the equation, not all of it, but a good component.
I like it. I like it. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the dark side of LinkedIn,
Okay,
which is what we have to go there. We can't talk about LinkedIn without going here. And I think it's funny because we are honored that so many people in our development community build things that connect with high level.
Yes.
And we're always happy to showcase those things if someone builds an integration. However, I think we are going to kind of make a policy where we no longer showcase LinkedIn scrapers, because it seems like everyone and their mother is building scrapers to get stuff out of LinkedIn. LinkedIn is stingy with their API, right? They don't want people taking data and conversations out of LinkedIn and piping it in somewhere else.
Right.
So that seems to be like the black hat way of marketing on LinkedIn. Sure. What's the white hat way? Like, what's the right way to do outreach on LinkedIn?
So here's the white hat way. The white hat way is to use Sales Navigator.
Okay. And that's a paid add-on, right?
Exactly. $90 a month, $99 a month.
Okay.
Free trial for 30 days. So it's perfect for those of you who aren't sure yet if this is where you're going. So get the trial, hop in there, get your targeting. And what you want to do is, a lot of people make this mistake. When you're in Sales Navigator, do not just type dentist in the search bar.
Okay.
That is like the biggest, it feels natural, right? Oh, it's a Google search bar, dentist. That will actually show you anybody's profile who uses the word dentist anywhere on their profile.
Okay.
So that means if someone says, I help dentists with their marketing, you're going to target that person. And
okay, so what's the better way to do it?
Yep, you're going to put dentist or owner of a dental clinic, right, in the job title.
Okay, makes
Section.
sense.
Yep, and don't put it in the main keyword search.
Got it. Okay, that makes
And
sense.
then here's the tactic, right? People always want to know what's the way to reach out. You got two schools of thought here, right? One of my favorite things to say on LinkedIn is nothing in the connection request.
Okay.
Because then once they connect with you, you can send them a personalized voice note or a personalized Loom video.
Okay.
None of your competitors are going to do that.
Right.
They don't have time.
Sure.
So let's say, I remember last year I connected with this gentleman, he went to the same college as me. I went in Sales Navigator. And then I was like, you know what, this guy, he could be my mentor. He could really, maybe come on my podcast. And his company did $450 million this year. So I was like, kind of out of my league. I need a strategy here. So I reached out to him. Hey, fellow WW alumni here. Love to connect. Right. Real sweet. And then I sent him a personalized voice note. I was like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I actually went to WW and I grew up around the corner from your office.
Nice.
Like, no way. So yeah, right around the corner, right there. And then we just started talking back and forth, a couple of voice notes. And then he said, yep, I'd love to meet you. Let's have a synergy call. The more high caliber professional you're networking with, you need to be on their time.
Sure.
Right. It's not the Kevin Miller show, send my Calendly link.
Sure.
Go high level link. That's not what we're doing here. You need protocol is the more professional or more, accomplished someone is, you need to accommodate them. It's just a courtesy, right? They're at a certain level, so you got to respect the protocol. They're going to have an assistant. They're going to screen you. They need to go through their protocol. So most people, they let their ego get in the way. He said he wants to talk to me about my service. He needs to go through my sales process. And that's where people go wrong.
So take me back a step or two.
Yeah.
What does LinkedIn Navigator enable you to do that you can't do without it?
I could target as specific as I want to target folks who attended my university, who posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days, who used to work at Microsoft, and who are in the pharmaceutical industry. That level of targeting with all those categories, not even close on the free plan.
Okay, so you get way more detailed targeting. What about as far as, cold outreaching to people? Do they give you anything else, any advanced sort of features or access in that regard, or is it the same thing? It's just a connection request and that's it.
You get in-mails. So those are like paid emails through LinkedIn, right? So
they do give you something additional when it comes to reaching out to people cold.
That's correct. And so you get to basically contact more people. It's kind of like a paid ad email, right? And so you can send a certain amount of those per month, depending on which plan you get, after you run out, of your regular connection requests.
Interesting. And so I think a lot of people, when they hear about people talking about LinkedIn, kind of think, well, it sounds great, but that wouldn't work for my industry. Are there industries where you're like, yeah, you're right, LinkedIn's probably not where you want to spend your time?
100%. I love that you asked that, because that is so important. Plumbers is not for you.
Okay.
People, when they have an emergency, they're going to Google plumber near me. They're not gonna go on LinkedIn for a plumber. That's just not gonna happen. Pest control, right? Stuff like that, where it's very clear that people are gonna go to Google and call for an emergency. However, B2B, almost anything in B2B works. So SaaS, doctors, lawyers, marketing agencies, owners, insurance agents, healthcare, research, copywriting, graphic design, web design, all of those things, you can market your business on LinkedIn.
Interesting. Now, is it important in your mind, you do what we talked about earlier, like go back to your profile, spruce it up,
Yeah.
turn on creator mode, get some keywords in there, that kind of stuff. How important is it in your mind to start producing content?
I'm a little bit of a rebel on this topic. I personally believe that, so context, for those who don't know, business is very, I love business and all that, but my real passion, like what people probably know me most for, is I'm the only entrepreneur my age to have ever survived 12 sudden cardiac arrests.
Holy crap.
That's my legacy. Right.
That's crazy.
And it's a beautiful story. I love to tell it to you sometime. In another, interview or talk, but essentially, man, I actually just got out heart surgery last week, and I had been dealing with this electrical heart condition for about 3 years. And, this was kind of like my last Hail Mary, my last hope at correcting this.
It went well, I hope.
They got it.
I was going to say, you look fantastic.
I got it, brother.
Wow, congratulations.
And so the reason I say that is I think you need to build your personal brand story first before you start posting content. I don't think people want to hear about, hey, this is my dentist's firm, and I'm going to tell you 3 tips on how to be a better. They can Google that, y'all. People, like, let's be honest, people don't buy your product. They buy your why. And my why is so clear, right? I want people, despite the challenges they go through in their life, like challenges I've had, passing out on Zoom calls, having full cardiac arrest and being in the hospital. I was in hospital this year in March. People deserve to present their best online. Sure. Every entrepreneur deserves that luxury, because that's why we're all here. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. Right. And that's what LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to do. And that's what we're all about at our company, is we want people to feel that and have, that's why we do LinkedIn profile makeovers, luxury makeover. So people have that luxury of presenting their best self, and not just, hey, I got a banner for $10 and now I'm good. Right.
Yeah. And this is, again, timely. I was talking, I think it was the last spotlight session I did, this kind of came up, where I really love the idea, we're high levels enabling entrepreneurs, agency owners to become software providers. And it's, in my mind, I get asked this question a lot. Oh, well, if you were going to, quit high level and go start out on your own, like, which model would you go for? And I always say, I would probably not focus on services. I would just resell the software. And what I would do is try to build myself up as an authority as quickly as possible in a specific niche.
Yeah.
And that requires creating content, right? I would be pretty prolific, and I would just, I would, like I said, it was an interview I did, not a spotlight session, but something else. So I would say, okay, let's say my industry is lawn care or whatever.
Exactly.
Every day I'd be driving around and I would be taking pictures of fantastic lawns, terrible lawns. I'd be monitoring every new lawnmower release, all this stuff. And then I become the curator and the DJ of that content, right? So, hey, today, what are we talking about on, the Greenest Thumb podcast?
That's a good one. I like that. That was good.
Like, we're talking about, John Deere just released the whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And here's my take. And that's where I was going with this. I think
that's correct. And that's why I love how you asked me that question so intentionally. What is your take on people posting this type of content on the internet? And truthfully, man, if you don't have a personal brand, it's just not going to connect. The algorithm, it's not magic, y'all. Like, a lot of people like to think of social media as magic, and then you could just go viral, and then now everybody
But
how
it's,
many times does that really happen? I mean, my story's gone viral, but that's because there's never been anybody who survived what I've survived that many times in a row.
yeah.
There's been people that have had one cardiac arrest or two. I had 12. So it's just that wild of a story. And that's why that, would be in the newspaper and viral and things. But
Sure.
if we're talking about your service, lawn care, insurance, right? Builds up your audience.
Anybody can find the top 10 tips of anything, but what
Exactly.
people really want to know are like, but what do you think about those 10 tips? Do you really think that they're all awesome? And I think it sounds to me like LinkedIn is a really great place to start producing content like that.
Yeah.
And if you go take care of your profile and do some of these tricks that you're teaching, and knowing again what I'm seeing people say about the algorithm that LinkedIn,
Right.
The current state of their algorithm seems to be rewarding people pretty quickly with reach. So yeah, it sounds like LinkedIn is something that we definitely need to start paying more attention to.
Definitely.
Yeah, so very cool. Are there any other tips or tricks that we should cover before I let you go?
Yeah, actually, you want to pull up your profile real quick? Got a couple more for you.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Oh, we cooking. Okay. So 2 styles of that first top section.
Okay.
You can do the traditional style, which is what you have right now. That's what most of your competitors will have. They'll have a company banner and then a studio shot. Now, if we just go to my profile, I'll show you an example of style number 2. So we're going to
search it, or are you going to?
Yep.
Okay.
Kevin Marcus Miller. CUS. Yep. There you go. Perfect. Right there. So this is style number 2. So notice that.
Ooh, animated GIF.
There you go. So to be in that top 1%, you got to do what other people just aren't willing to do. Anybody can throw up their company logo banner on LinkedIn, but notice how I used my company's logo and our colors and still made a personal brand message, right? And then put my face on it. So those little extra touches to make this, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Right?
Yeah, this is really interesting. And I mean, you also have a call to action in your banner here. So DM audit. Are you able to, does LinkedIn enable you to like automate off of that keyword?
So no, what happens though is, see where it says free LinkedIn profile audit? That's my call to action. When someone DMs me, I can send them the link to that directly, or I can start a sales conversation right there.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
actually
I mean,
better for me not to be automated, because then I can assess what's really going on.
For sure. But we all know speed to lead is critical. So it's like, hopefully someday LinkedIn will open up to us and we can plug in like we do with all the other channels and enable people to make sure that people are getting, replies immediately. But got it. This is cool. I didn't know you could do animated GIFs in your profile.
So that's actually a custom video that my team made. It's a profile video. We do these lyric videos for our clients. And so that's just our signature style. You're able to add any 30-second video via mobile on LinkedIn. That's why most people don't know. It's a little secret. You have to use your phone.
Interesting. And do you need to pre-crop it to like a square, or do they give you a cropping tool when you're uploading?
Yep, you need to pre-crop it. Yep. And then when you upload it on your phone, it's gonna play the first 3 seconds of the video on repeat. That's what you're watching when you see it reload. That's just the first 3 seconds of the video looping. So make sure you pick something that in the beginning of the video you want people to see,
So is your video that text and then your face, or do they play the video and then it switches to an image?
Yep, go ahead and click on it. Yep, so there's music, right? It's like a VSL, but with lyric video.
Okay, so you uploaded an image and then you basically uploaded a video on top of it, and it plays the first 3 seconds of the video, then cuts to your image.
That's correct.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And they only let you do it on mobile. That's kind of silly. You'd think that it would make
Kinda,
it
right?
easier for you. Oh, but that's a
I
great
wonder
tip.
why.
I mean, I would have never figured that out.
I honestly have no idea why they did that, but I'm not hating.
That's cool though. So you click that and it plays the full video.
Hmm.
Interesting.
One more thing.
All right,
See
what do
where
you
it says
got?
all approach on the, it has like the logo right there. Yep.
We click
Probably
this?
about, yep, probably about 95% of the profiles I look at. If
Uh-huh.
you go back up real quick, it's like a blank, there's no logo there, and it's just a blank. Right? Their
Okay.
company, whatever, roofing or whatever,
Uh-huh.
blank. And it's because you didn't attach your company page.
Uh,
And so the equivalent is walking in the mall, right? Imagine you're walking in the mall and you see a bunch of stores and there's no lights. There's no front door. There's no sign. You're going to be like, what's going on here? So people, like most people, just leave it and they think it's okay. But any sophisticated buyer that sees that's going to know, oh, this is not a very developed business yet.
Hmm.
You don't want to portray that, because the minute you portray that, they're going to reflect that when they on the sales call with you.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't show an image or text. This would just be a blank area.
Yeah, so the logo, it would say all approach, but then it would have no logo next to it. And when you click it, it won't go anywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it would kind of look like something's funky or broken.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think I mean, thank you for coming by, Kevin, to drop
course,
such
man.
actionable nuggets. I think you guys probably have 3 or 4 things that you need to go take care of pretty quickly. And I need to start messing around. I probably need to update the app on my phone, man. It's
Well, you're gonna have
probably
to
been a
text me
while.
because I want to see your new one.
Well, now I need to think about what my cool video is going to be. So it
You know,
can be
you
up
could probably do like a commercial, like High Level should have all of you do commercials. That'd be tight.
That's interesting. So
Yeah.
it's up to 30 seconds, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very
Maybe that could be
cool.
the next challenge, the next Go High Level challenge.
I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, yeah, my brain is running with ideas right now. So
Yeah.
I need to
Right
get back
on,
to the team. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for coming on. Kevin's,
Thanks.
if people are interested in working with Kevin and having, if you guys want somebody to audit your page, and, help you to bring it up to speed, up to, a top performing LinkedIn page, the website's allapproach.com, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, thanks so much for coming on to chat LinkedIn with us.
Absolutely. Appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.